Welcome in, guys, to my NFL recap for Week 11. We start off with a Thursday night game, the Titans versus Green Bay. Going into the game, the Titans were 6-3. Packers were 4-6. You had the Titans won 27-17. Derrick Henry had 28 carries for 87 yards and a touchdown. Then we had the early Sunday games. We had the Commanders versus the Texans. Again, if you're the Texans, just lose the majority of the games and get yourself a quarterback. Mills is not a good quarterback. Again, work on your offensive line and get yourself a quarterback. But we had the Commanders and Titans. Going into the game, the Commanders were 5-5. The Texans were 1-7. And then the Commanders won 23-10. You had Gibson, who had 18 carries and 72 yards, and a good win for the Commanders. Then we had the Rams versus the Saints. Again, two teams that this time last year the Rams were looking really good, for the playoffs, and obviously they won the Super Bowl. The Saints are in transition with Dennis Allen as the new head coach, so there's a lot of transition going on with both teams. You had the Saints win 20-27. You had Chris Olave, who had 102 yards, one touchdown, to make it 20-27 to the Saints. You had Bears football. It was the Bears versus the Falcons. You had, again, work on Justin Fields as a passer. He's great as a runner, but you're running this kid into the ground. He came off injured with a shoulder injury. His legs were gone by near the end of the fourth quarter. His legs were gone. But again, this is Gessie. Third and 12, halfback time. We're gonna run the ball. Yeah, it's okay running the ball. You're great. The Bears are great at running the ball. Pass the fucking ball. Stop being so one-dimensional. Stop having Justin Fields be so one-dimensional as a quarterback, and have him work on the passing game. That's one of his weaknesses that was in the college game, that he needed to work on his passing game. And this Luke Getsy, he comes in. He's like, no, we're going to stay with the Bears, 1980s, 1990s, defensive mind, 3rd and 12, halfback time, defend. We're going to run the ball. We're not going to, God forbid, pass to anybody or actually have somebody on the offensive line. That's good. You gave away a second round pick for Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool's whatever, but again, when you know, in the beginning of the season, you should have actually got maybe George Pickens from the Steelers. You should have drafted him. But oh no, you don't want to draft any offensive guys to help Justin Fields and protect your young quarterback. No, let's all go for defensive. And how's that defense working, Matt Rafus? But the Bears won. The Falcons won 24-27, and again, these two teams are in transition. Start Desmond Ridder, Falcons. Again, you got Desmond Ridder. I keep saying this every week. Start Desmond Ridder, and Bears. Just keep doing Bears football. But you look at the Falcons, they're second in this NFC South. Again, that division. You look at all the teams in that division, the NFC South. The Bucks, the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers are all a dumpster fire this year. And it's anybody's guess who's going to really win that division. But the stats for Justin Fields, he had 14 out of 21 throws, 153 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Then we had the Eagles versus the Colts. The Eagles needed a bounce back after last week's loss on Monday night. They had the Jeff Saturday's Indiana Colts, and the Eagles win 17-16. It wasn't really a pretty game if you was an Eagles fan. The Colts dominated most of the game. Jeff Saturday dominated a potential NFL Super Bowl winning team in the Eagles. Just let that sink in for you Eagles fans. 17-16, but ultimately the Eagles got the job done. 17-16. You had 18 out of 25 throws, 190 yards, one touchdown for Jalen Hurts. You had Jonathan Taylor, one touchdown, 22 carries and 84 yards. Then we had the Panthers versus the Ravens. It was 3-13. Ravens get the win. Then we had the Browns versus the Bills. in Detroit, in Ford Field, because obviously the whole big storm, what's happening in Western New York. 23-31. The Bills bounced back after that, lost to the Vikings last week. They're now 7-3. The Browns are now 3-7. You had you had Josh Allen at 18 out of 27 throws, 197 yards, 1 touchdown. Singletary at 18 carries and 1 touchdown. Then the Raiders versus the Broncos, 2 head coaches that are on the hot seat. They need that are 2 of them that could be fired. Josh McDaniels versus his old team, the Broncos with Nathaniel Hackett, who again is on the hot seat. The Raiders got to win 22-16, and the Raiders are now 3-7. Again, look at both teams. Both teams had some trades, like Devontae Adams came in for a shit ton of money in the offseason. Look at the Broncos with Russell Wilson. They haven't worked out so far. Yeah, a lot of questions seem to be going on in that front office with the Raiders and the Broncos. Because you got all this big money for especially Russell Wilson, who nobody wanted, and you're 7-3. And you could the Raiders, like he left Aaron Rodgers to go to the Raiders, who are now 3-7. But then we had the Cowboys versus the Vikings. The Cowboys shut out the Vikings 40-3. Again, the Vikings are now 8-2 for the year. Cowboys, they bounced back from last week, and now they are now 7-3. Then we had the Bengals versus the Steelers, 37-30. P. Ryan had 3 touchdowns in the game. He had a really good game for P. Ryan, and it was 37-30 to the Bengals. Then we had the Chiefs versus the Chargers. Again, what I like about this Chiefs team is I like their mindset. You know, they were down like 25-27 in the fourth, and then you had Kelsey, who had 3 touchdowns in the game. He had a really good game on primetime Sunday night. Gets it 31-27. Chiefs get the win. The Chiefs are now 8-2, and then you have the Chargers, who are now 5-5. You had Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton, who had 14 tackles, 10 solos, and 4 assists. Then we had the Monday night game, the first ever Monday night game in Mexico. We had it was 0-3 in the first to the Cardinals, and then ultimately in the second half, the 49ers got the shit together with Josh Kittle. He got a touchdown. James Conner got a touchdown for the Cardinals. Then again, 2 touchdowns for Kittle to make it 38-10, and the 49ers get the win. And they're now the second. They're the second in the NFC West, the 49ers. So that is my NFL recap for this week. Leave you guys thoughts in the comments, and peace.